share your screen with your audience. Okay. Hi, I'm on a Mounjaro journey. If any of you are also on a Mounjaro journey, please let me know and share it with us, some of your best tips and practices. I'm going to share with you what my journey's been like so far, my first 3 weeks using Mounjaro, and what are some of the things that I wish I knew before I started. Well, today this is I'll be inserting my fourth shot. I've decided to do my shots on Mondays to help me remember that that's the day to take my shot. I'll say Mounjaro Mondays. It kind of rhymes, and then I'll always know what I should be doing, that I should be taking my shot. So anyway, I've done 2 videos so far. One, injecting the Mounjaro for the first time in my stomach. I was really worried that it would be painful, and it wasn't. So I wish I knew in advance that it really absolutely doesn't hurt. Actually, if you watch that first video of me injecting Mounjaro for the first time. Hi, Jeff. Thank you so much. You give me a glass of water here. I'm trying to learn how to do this. Jeff works full time and he gets so tired when he comes home. He's been battling bladder cancer, but he's winning, so that's like a good thing. So I'm trying to learn how to do this by myself. He's usually my editor and my producer of all my videos on my Anchor Moments channel. Anyway, where's I going to go with this? I wish I knew how much it does not hurt. The first video where I put Mounjaro in my stomach for the first time, I wasn't sure if I'd injected everything. And I paused and waited a little bit, counted to 10 to be sure. And it was already in. It already been injected in, and I couldn't feel it. It was just a little bit cool, and that's it. So that's something I wish I knew, because then I wouldn't have worried so much about pain. I then did Mounjaro in my leg. Also, I have pretty chubby thighs, and what you're supposed to do is insert the Mounjaro into your fat, and I couldn't even feel it in my thighs. I think I felt it even less in my thighs than I did in my stomach. The third time I took Mounjaro, I took it in my arm, and I did a video of doing it in my arm, of trying to figure out how to put it in and be able to get the plunger pushed and everything. And I will tell you, I could feel it in my arm. It stung in my arm. So I'm going to use that as my last choice of injecting the Mounjaro. But I will, if I start maybe after a lot of time, I'll start adding the arm again, but I'm going to be doing stomach and leg is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the right side the first 2 weeks, and then the left side my second 2 weeks, once in the thigh and once in my stomach. And there is a reason for that. I've been in a group. There's a really great Facebook group that's so helpful, and it's called Mounjaro Zepbound Weight Loss and Support Group. Mounjaro is a type 2 diabetes medicine, but it just got approved to also be for to help people lose weight, and for weight loss. They have the name Zepbound, but it's the exact same medicine, just 2 different names, probably for insurance reasons. So your insurance provider knows that you're doing it for either weight loss, or you're doing it for type 2 diabetes. And I have type 2 diabetes. And I want to tell you, my 3 weeks on Mounjaro have been awesome for my blood sugar. My blood sugar is so much lower. It's almost normal. 2 times in the 3 weeks I've been on Mounjaro, when I woke up in the morning, my fasting blood sugar was below 100. And that's what a normal person has. You're supposed to have below 100 for your fasting blood sugar. So that's really exciting, and that's been a big plus. I can eat bananas again. I wish I knew that before I got started because I would be so excited. Because in the past, since I've become diabetic, every time I eat a banana, my blood sugars go sky high. I used to love eating bananas and hot oatmeal, but then I couldn't anymore because my sugars would just get way too high and it would take too long to bring them down. But now with Mounjaro, I've been having bananas with oatmeal many different mornings for breakfast, and it's delicious. And my blood sugar doesn't spike; it just goes up a little bit, but a normal amount. And I wear a here we go. Where is it? I wear blood glucose monitor. This is a Libre 2, and it tells me 24 hours a day what my blood sugars are. And so I can really see where, if I've eaten something, what the effects are. And I've been wearing one of these for about 3 years now. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend it if you do have type 2 diabetes, to either wear the Libre 1, the Libre 2, and now there's even a Libre 3 that's even smaller. So any of those, or Dexcom, or if there's any other brand out there, give it a shot. But it really makes a difference in knowing what your blood sugar is doing. And in 3 weeks' time, my blood sugar is what they have, the green zone, and it is right in the green zone where you want to be. And so that has just been really exciting on Mounjaro. So I'm really excited about that. And I have had some side effects, so I'd like to talk to you about that too. The first week, I was amazed. I wasn't thinking about food all the time. The food chatter in my brain, where while I'm eating lunch, I'm already thinking about what I'm going to make for dinner, maybe what snack I might like to have later. I'm, always thinking about food, and I'm usually pretty hungry, and more hungry than I should be. Because if I wasn't, I'd be thin. I'm not thin. So I definitely have been eating too much for the past few years and have put on some weight. Well, on Mounjaro, I'm not feeling hungry all the time. I have had strawberry ice cream in my freezer, and I'll go days without having any because I'm just not thinking about it. And it lasts so long because I'm not thinking about it for having a snack. Now, I've had it, a little bit in the last 3 weeks, but not daily. And that's crazy because for me, that strawberry ice cream would be calling me and it'd be gone. I'd have to go to the store and get more. And I've had a quart of strawberry ice cream in the freezer for 2 weeks now, and I'm still not done with it. And it's just one of those little quarts, and it's still, it's still there. That is amazing. That is a big win for me. Also, that first week, there was something I wish I knew and didn't. And now I do know that even healthy vegetables can sometimes give you a horrific stomach ache. Mounjaro if helps you in a couple of ways. One way is it's a hormone that let your brain know that you're full, and so that way you're not hungry and you're not always craving lots of snacks. The second way it helps you is it makes your food take longer to digest. And so it sits in your stomach longer before it passes through. And that's a good thing to keep you to be not as hungry, but it also can cause some grief. For me, I never threw up. In 3 weeks, I did not throw up even one time. I also did not have diarrhea either, but I did get some constipation during week 2, which I'm going to tell you about how I was able to fix that in a minute. But I also learned that certain vegetables give me horrific gas, where my stomach is so bloated and hard that it extremely painful. The first week, I had a nice size bowl of homemade cabbage soup. And in the past, anytime I've tried to lose weight, if I make a nice big pot of cabbage and veggie soup where I put lots of different vegetables in there, but there's a lot of cabbage in there too, it helps me lose weight and it keeps me full. And so I thought I was doing a great job. I made myself a nice bowl of it and I sat down to eat it with a 300-calorie tamale that I got from Costco. In the past, I've lost weight doing that because it's a low calorie dinner, 300-calorie tamale with a nice big bowl of cabbage vegetable soup. I swear I have a guardian angel. I don't know if it was Jesus that stopped by or I don't know, a dead relative, but I will tell you, when I went to take my first big bite of the tamale, it fell off the spoon onto the floor. And I remember looking down at it and going, "Ah, dang it. I only have like 5 bites out of this tamale and one of them's on the ground." And you can't do the 5-second rule on a tamale. It's too moist. It'd be too dirty. So I had to throw it away. But that was a blessing because the soup with the spicy tamale sat in my stomach. I ate it probably around 5:30 at night, and at 5:30 the next morning, I was still burping tamale and cabbage soup. And all night long, I tossed and turned. My stomach hurt so bad. It was so bloated and hard. I never did throw up. I wasn't really nauseous per se. It was just painful. It probably took till about 10 o'clock the next morning for that pain to finally go away and for me to stop burping the soup and the tamale. And so that's something I wish I had known, that if I'm going to have a gassy vegetable like cabbage, I need to take some enzymes like Beano tablets to maybe help that. Also, if I'm gonna have cabbage soup, I can't have a big bowl. I could have maybe a little bowl and have maybe just a little bit, and I definitely can't put a spicy tamale with it because that was really pretty painful. And the first week, I didn't have constipation. Everything else was fine. My only side effect was not being as hungry, being able to lose 3 pounds that first week, and the bad stomach ache that I had with doing the tamale and the cabbage soup. Week 2, I got constipated after my second shot, and so I tried doing uh, Miralax. And so I took Miralax, that did the trick. And so the day after I took Miralax, I was able to poop and I felt a lot better. But then I was thinking, gee, I don't know if I want to take Miralax all the time. I don't know if it's good for you to have to take a stool softener daily. Um, and my parents came from out of town to visit for 5 days. And my stepdad, Ed, he told me when I told him I was being bothered with constipation, but other than that, I've been really enjoying the Mounjaro. He told me about fiber gummies, and he takes 2 fiber gummies in the morning and 2 fiber gummies at night, and that does the trick for him, and he doesn't have problems. So I thought, well, I'll give that a shot, and he even bought me my first bottle. That has really helped. I also take them with Activia yogurt. And so if I take an Activia yogurt for breakfast, and it's a yogurt that has extra probiotics in it, so it's a very highly concentrated probiotic yogurt. If I take that in the morning with 2 fiber gummies with my breakfast, and then as an evening snack, again, the yogurt with 2 more fiber gummies, that's doing the trick. Now I'm able to go every day. My stool is soft. Sorry, it'll be a little gross, but if you're going to do Mounjaro and if you're really constipated, that feels terrible. So this has really helped me and super easy, and it's all natural. So that's something I wish I knew from the very beginning, but I'm so glad that my stepdad and my mom came out and gave me that tip because that has worked great. Let's see, what else? Well, another thing to know is that Manjaro is not magic. It's not a magic medicine that lowers your blood sugar and makes you skinny. It's still calories in and calories out. So for 5 days, my parents spoiled me and my adult children and their spouse and girlfriend. I have a boy and a girl, and my daughter's married. All of us went out to eat every night. It was so much fun. And we had a lot of calories. For dinner, we had appetizers, we had cocktails, we had dinner, and we shared dessert. That's a lot of calories. So, week 2, I did not lose any weight, and I actually gained a couple of my pounds back. So it really is calories in, calories out. One of the things I did try to do though, and it was easier for me to do on Manjaro, is I only had about a couple hundred calories for breakfast, 200 to 300 calories for lunch, and then dinner. I went out with my parents and really enjoyed what I had. I will say though, 2 different nights, I had a tummy ache when I went to bed because it was a lot of calories. And the dinner, I mean, I ate the appetizers. I don't normally drink alcohol, but I do when my parents are in town because they're very generous in taking us out. And it's always, I don't know, it's really fun celebrating with them. And I do drink 1 to 2 drinks with dinner. And I had a stomach ache from eating too much the first night. I did when I ate the appetizers, but when dinner came, I didn't eat very much of my meal, but I would take it home as leftovers, which was kind of nice. I put it in the freezer and we've been eating on it a little bit this next week. So I didn't eat as much, but still, appetizers are very rich and heavy in calories. And so are the desserts afterwards and the empty sugar calories of drinking alcohol. And so the first night I had too much of it. And so I had a stomach ache all night. And I knew, oh, I can't eat as much as this. And then I did better and ate a little bit less. But one night, I again, with vegetables, I didn't have cabbage per se, but I had Brussels sprouts. And Brussels sprouts is also a gassy vegetable. I never thought about it being a gassy vegetable, but I had a nice bowl of Brussels sprouts with my dinner. And again, all night long that night, just so much painful gas in my stomach. And so I know now if I'm going to have any kind of vegetable that's gassy, I need to either A, just have a couple bites of it, or B, be sure I take Beano or digestive enzymes with that. And that's what Beano is. It's a brand name of digestive enzymes because that would truly help. Um, what else? So anyway, week 2, it's calories in, calories out, and I had too many calories for dinner. Though I did have less earlier in the day. I usually gain about a pound a day when my parents are in town, and I didn't gain a pound a day, but I did gain a couple of my pounds back. But then this week, the third week, my parents were gone. I've been taking the fiber gummies, which is about 10 grams of fiber in 2 fiber gummies with breakfast, and another 10 grams of fiber gummies in the evening with Activia. And I've been doing great. Um, and I haven't been overeating at all. I've been eating healthy foods. I've been eating probably about 1,500 calories or so each day. And I'm down total now 5 pounds. And so 5 pounds in 3 weeks, with one of those weeks with 5 days in a row going out to eat with my parents. That is amazing. So I'm super stoked about that. And I'm looking forward to doing my shot today because it's Mounjaro Monday. And so I'm going to take my last of the 2.5 milligrams. And then next week, the following week, I'm being bumped up to the 5 milligrams. And so I'll let you know how that goes and if I have any side effects with that. Does anybody have any questions? I don't see any questions written out here. But if anyone catches this live on as a replay, if you have any questions about Mounjaro and my journey, let me know. And if you're on your own Mounjaro journey and you have some great tips to share, please share them. Somebody had given me the tip about the Mounjaro Zepbound weight loss and support group on Facebook. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am loving that group. And it's run by someone who's a registered uh, a nurse practitioner. She's a nurse practitioner that runs that group. So it's free and it's a private group. You do have to ask the administration to be in, and they'll ask you a question if you're on Zepbound or if you're on Mounjaro to be able to be led in the group. But it's been a great spot to get lots of inspiration, and so I want to thank everybody that's on that group that shares because I love reading the posts and getting information. And one more tip that I want to share with you: a lot of people say you need to move your Mounjaro down to different spots. That way, you're not like always doing it in your stomach or always doing it in your legs. You need to move it around. And I found out why. And why is because uh, the Mounjaro medication is kind of thick and you're poking yourself. So you are poking with a needle that you can develop scar tissue. And so if you're always poking yourself in the same exact spot, then you're creating scar tissue for yourself and it won't be absorbed as well into your body. And so it will stop working as well. That's why it's important to switch spots. And so somebody on there had mentioned they do one side of their body for 3 weeks, either the arm and then the stomach and then the leg. And then the next 3 weeks, they'll go on the left side and do an arm, stomach, and then leg, 3, 4, 5. So anyway, you want to mix it up. So that way you're not always shooting yourself in the exact same spot. So that way it'll work better for you. And a second thing that I wish I had known is why incredibly important it is to drink water. And that is because number one, water helps you to feel fuller. Number two, water is good for your kidneys and your bodily functions. Number three, water will help you to be not constipated. And if you do end up being one of the people who gets diarrhea, then it'll keep you hydrated. So being hydrated is so important. But for me, there was one day I didn't drink as much water, and it made my urine extra acidic, and it kind of burned when I peed. And so I was like, "Oops, I better drink more water." And now that I drink a whole big glass of water, I like to not put ice cubes in it because I can gulp this down in like 1 minute and have an entire glass. I can chug it if it's room temperature, but if I put ice in it, then I only want to sip if something is really cold with ice. Let's see. Any other tips? I don't know. This is probably kind of a long video. That's a lot of tips right now. If you have any questions again, please reach out to me in the comments, and I promise to try to answer as best as I can to my ability. And thank you for watching. I see that I have someone watching right now, so yay, whoever that person is. And And have a great week. Enjoy your journey, and I look forward to sharing more with you later. Bye-bye.